Picking a 250cc motorcycle is a task, and in today's video I've got two very good options, but the price difference between both of them is a little more than 30,000 rupees. So which one should you buy and why is what I'm going to tell you today, because we're comparing the Pulsar N250 with the Suzuki Gixxer 250, and both the motorcycles are updated for 2023. N250 is a brand new motorcycle altogether and the Gixxer 250 is updated. So let's find out which one is a better solution to get. Now when we consider both these motorcycles for comparison, well, there is quite a bit to compare, because you get an LED projector headlight setup with DRL. Here it's a complete LED headlight setup with almost 9 LEDs inside there, 9 or 8, somewhere close to that. This is the high beam, where the same case for the Pulsar, the high beam is right within the projector setup itself, like this. So it works pretty nice. You can actually keep the projector shut also, so that is also an option on the switchgear. So yep, the headlight setup is quite different for both the motorcycles. The intensity is a lot more on that, because the Gixxer has a more LEDs right there, but the widespread, the angle is a lot better on the Pulsar. Looking at the major differences too, here you get an oil cool system which is right over here. The oil cooler is horizontal, but you get fins also on the engine, so that it's oil plus air cooled. While the same system on the Suzuki, it's a little different. Here you get a vertically placed radiator right over here, and then there are no fins on the engine. It's a oil cool system only, so no air cooling which is supported on the Gixxer. However, there is no fairing as such, so it does cool down a little bit. Talk about the fuel tank capacity too. On the Gixxer you get close to 12 liters of fuel tank, while the same on the Pulsar is close to 14 liters. So you get a little more range, while both the motorcycles give exactly the same mileage. Pulsar gives about 0.5 kilometers per liter more. Plus a bigger fuel tank means more riding range as compared to that of the Gixxer. So if you want to go touring, you should actually select the Pulsar as compared to that of the Gixxer. Now the seat comfort of this motorcycle, the Gixxer, is decent enough. Cushioning is okay. The seat height is at 805 mm, and the moment we hop onto it, okay, this is a very comfortable place to be on, and it is very similar to that of the Gixxer 150, because there is no difference. कुछ है ही नहीं फर्क यहाँ पे. It feels quite nice. But what about the Pillion? I suppose it's gonna be the same case, and I have the same Pillion yet again. Vivek, aa jao. So he's sitting Pillion with me on the Gixxer, and yep, the pegs are open now. Again, the tail light. The tail light section, the tail section which is there, you have to be a little clear of that, because lag sakta hai, toot sakta hai, there is a good chance of it. But
seat wise,
decent.
It's as good as 150. No difference.
No difference. Comfortable,
yes.
Spacious enough, and quite good.
Yes. Even the grabs are quite handy.
Okay, pretty nice.
Yeah.
Let's look at the Pulsar.
Yes. Again, the tail.
Yeah, be careful of that. For me, the riding posture is quite nice, and I can actually see what's ahead very nicely, with the handlebar being very accessible, usable है. यहाँ पे भी handlebar मिल जाता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा difference है. The handlebar curves a little to the end, so you sit a little low, and the seat is little more accessible. Cushion is a little better. आ जाए यहाँ पे, you will find this more comfortable. देखना.
I can see that this difference between the seat.
है ना? Textured and soft.
It is much better.
You find a little more comfort on the Pulsar, and you can see that मेरा पैर is a little lower. I can actually bend my leg, and थोड़ा सा touch हुआ. Sorry about that. But this is a little more comfortable compared to that of the Gixxer. Yeah, Gixxer is a little more dynamically sound. This is a little towards comfort. Yes.
I can say that the seat is much more comfortable.
हाँ, तो Pillion भी अच्छा लगेगा. And thank you. यहाँ पे मेरा पर्सपेक्टिव से there is one more thing which I can say is that इसका जो मिरर है ना, थोड़ा सा टेपर्ड है, तो इनर में you get a less view, लेकिन बाहर में because of the extended piece you don't have a larger blind spot. तो Gixxer के ऊपर इसका mirrors better. So as I mentioned earlier, this piece is the one that hurts your leg when you try to swing the leg above. So that is something ये थोड़ा ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा. Otherwise यहाँ पे it's kind of a tail tidy. The tail is a little smaller, and once you notice, you get LED indicators which are standard on the 250. On the Gixxer, still no LED indicators. That is a fair miss here. So now if you look at the digital cluster, you get decent amount of information. You press this mode button to start pairing, and here is where you get the navigation data and all of that. It is the same unit that we see on the newer 150s as well, the scooters as well. You get 2 trip meters, you get mileage for every trip, and that's about it. Here is the live mileage and the battery voltage, gear position indicator, tachometer, fuel gauge, clock. That's about it. There's nothing extra over here on this motorcycle. The switchgear also seems quite basic. No piano black finish, but a matte black, which is a nice touch, and a piano black over here. So good enough. thing that you'll definitely notice is that analog digital cluster on the Bajaj Pulsar with an infinity display. This edge looks quite nice. There's good amount of information available on the cluster. This is the tachometer, gear position indicator, speedometer, clock. There's the odometer right there. Once you press this, oh wait, I have to turn the kill switch on to get all the data, and then you can press through and get the rest. Trip 1, trip 2, distance to empty, that's there. So individual trip wise you get mileage too, so that is a definite plus, and distance to empty is something that is definitely usable. As I did mention about the switch gear, you get backlit switches, but to utilize that, to view that, you have to turn on the motorcycle, and you can see the light is on, or right now it is. Okay, backlit is with the button turned on. So as I say, you don't have to use the clutch to turn on the motorcycle on the Pulsar. However, that is a case that is required on the Gixxer, so a little bit of safety feature there. But talking about one more feature, you get a USB plug right over here, which is kind of a fast charger. 2 ampere 1.5 ampere के आसपास का output it gives, which charges the phone quite nicely. So if you put a mount over here or put the phone in your pocket, you can actually extend the cable to your pocket and charge your phone on the go, which is a definite plus for my side. This is a very different way that I'm measuring seat length by my hand. So if I put this from edge to edge, 1, pull this up, 2, and almost 3. If we check the same on the Gixxer, it is 1, up comes 2, and it goes a little ahead. So yeah, the length is a little bit less on the seat of the Gixxer as compared to that of the N250. You know what, too much of standstill talk, let's go ride it right away. So we have started riding now, and as you can see, there's a Gixxer ahead. This is the Pulsar right with me. What I can definitely say is इसका ना engine में मज़ा बहुत आता है. It produces close to 24-25 bhp of power and good enough torque. But then again, the Gixxer produces a little more power, little more torque. So the number you can see on the screen, there is a difference. Not much of a difference, but then it's the weight difference also, and hence the Gixxer pulls off very nicely. Plus a different thing that goes around is इसमें ना you get only a 5-speed gearbox. Gixxer gives you a 6-speed gearbox, so for the extra money you get that extra gear also. Oil cooling system is also a little bit better, and comfort wise I am at a better place. As you can see, uska tail काफ़ी hard चल रहा है. Suspension का setup is on a little harder side. It's more dynamic. Here it's comfort. Here you can see the handlebar is a little wavered and everything, so everything is comfortable right here. Yeah, Gixxer on the other hand, sporty definitely, but the exhaust note Gixxer का दो एंड मैं देता हूँ अपना पल्सर का. देखा, पल्सर इज़ अ लिटिल बिट बेसियर. दैट्स डेफिनेटली देयर. लेट्स ट्राई एंड डू 0 to 100 राइट अवे. Gixxer has a better top speed, it has a better acceleration, but the low end, the immediate low end pickup के लिए the Pulsar is the best. So immediately getting off of traffic, you will enjoy the Pulsar a lot more. The comfortable place to be on this motorcycle is close to 60 km/h. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा jittery feel होता है, and the moment you open up 60 to 70 के बीच में, yep, this is the most comfortable point, and this feels nice यार. This feels very good actually. Kabhi you will not complain on this motorcycle, and if you have a Pillion too, you will be actually more comfortable without having second thoughts about what you are riding. Tires are also nice, they grip decently well, not too bad, not too shabby. 100 section at the front, 130 at the rear, which is good enough for this motorcycle. But then again, Gixxer is not left out here. Gixxer has a better top end too. It hits the red line almost 10,500 RPM. Here it's close to 8.5 or 9 only. So yeah, there's a difference. थोड़ा है वो फर्क है. मज़ा तो आता है, लेकिन इतना बुरा भी नहीं है. But then the brakes, yep, there is a difference. As I brake a little harder, I could actually get a better feedback on the Gixxer as compared to that on the Pulsar यार. ठीक है, there is a difference, there is definitely there. थोड़ा तो फर्क रहेगा ना. It is not as easy यार. So now as I get on the Gixxer, it's quite comfortable place to be on, but then again the suspension is a little harder. However, the acceleration, the feel, and the extra 6th gear is always handy, so that is definitely to look out for. Apart from that, I actually like the motorcycle for the dynamics, the way it responds to even little bit of handlebar movement, and you sit more upright on this motorcycle as compared to that on the Pulsar. So that is definitely there. Apart from that, there's no problems on this motorcycle at all. There's a good amount of wind blast that you can feel, but dynamically this is a sound motorcycle. And if I check the brakes also right now, the brakes are also quite nice. Pulsar goes ahead. So yeah, it's quite nice, it's quite good. So if you talk about both the motorcycles, they have very different characteristics altogether. That is, like, both are 250s, both are in the same category. Price bracket difference is not as much, but that is comfortable. It does look sporty, it does have that cues and everything, but sportiness lies within the Gixxer and it does not show as much. So दोनों का characteristic अलग है, दोनों motorcycle अलग है, दोनों का purpose is also a little different. So picking one between either of them comes to the purpose. Comfort, it's there. Sportiness, it's here. Better engine, better brakes, better dynamics. But value for money factor, it's over there. And a fresher motorcycle, a newer motorcycle, Pulsar. So yeah, it's a lot to talk about. And the design that's there of the Pulsar lineage, you can see from the taillight, is still there, yeah. Gixxer, still the best owned Gixxer. People who have owned the 250s, they know, they love it so much because it is a wheelie machine. And if I talk about that, I'll add a few clips on how easy it is to wheelie the Gixxer. Like, it just lifts that easily. Well, the same for the Pulsar, you have to put in that effort and you need to find that sweet spot because the RPM does not hit as much. Now this is too much of riding word. Let's just finish it when we stand here. So as I mentioned earlier, picking one motorcycle between these two is not much of a problem if you're looking for something that is dynamically rich, has a little more power on tap, and a motorcycle that gives you navigation data too. The Suzuki Gixxer 250 is the one to go for. The SOCS system does work really well and it is helpful in multiple situations while riding in traffic, keeping yourself cool because the engine stays cool. Although on the other hand, you save some money, and if you consider the value for money tag, the Pulsar N250 takes it up. And hence, if I want to take myself a long-term motorcycle, picking one between these two, I'll pick the Pulsar N250. That's the verdict for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.